Hi guys, I'm Lisa for wtfLisaTarot. I get messages through songs, so whatever did, whatever that. Like, share, subscribe, follow, drop a tip, CashApp, wtfLisaTarot, shop my stores, wtfLisa eBay, wtfLisa.com. On wtfLisa.com, you can book personal readings, or you can email me at wtfLisaTarot@gmail.com. Oh, you guys, it's such a weird energy this whole week. Like, I can feel, like, just funky, floopy funkiness. Like, people fucking with energies, right? Because we have the full moon on the 9th. Or 10th, depending on where you fucking are. So funky energies. But then I also find myself, like, I'm not getting into my whole deal, but I don't just need music to, like, channel. It's just the easiest way I found for me to relate. It's hard to explain sometimes, this shit, and so trying to find a balance. But I noticed I'll start channeling mid-conversation, and I'll be talking about trying to say one thing, but I'll go off about something. And thank goodness last night it happened with someone who, like, they're an empath, so they know, like, how this shit's weird, and it just made me feel better. And I was like, oh, I'm so sorry, but while I was talking to him, I was picking up on totally unrelated people, and it's like, the fuck is happening? I was picking up on so much drunk stuff. I ended up having to just, like, get off social media completely, and none of it was important. It was just random, and I was like, what the fuck, you know? That sucks. I mean, that has happened, but it was, like, super duper strong. So some of you, your just intuition's kicking in more, I think. I have Come and Get Your Love by Redbone, and I do think this is related. Sorry for the long fucking talking, but, you know. World. Incoming messages. Whether it is of the DM, text, fucking letter, carrier, pigeon, smoke signal type, or the intuitive fucking messages. But some of you are finding you're more intuitive. Now, you're finding... what am I trying to say? Obviously, you're finding you're more intuitive. We just fucking talked about that for a while. But maybe you're just finding the messages come in unusual ways, or come out in unusual ways. Because sometimes I don't even know that it sounds so... I'm a Gemini, for one thing. So there's two in one body here. We're already, like, fucking our own fucking deal. Like... But sometimes it's like... the energy of, the left hand not showing your right hand what it's doing until later, and like, oh, that's what I'm doing. An example would be sometimes, like, I'll do things that make no sense, but then it'll make sense within 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months, or, you know, somewhere within that time. An example would be when my mom was still alive in her home. She didn't have a dog, but she was around them, you know. A lot of the residents had them, so, like, I sent her with her some groceries. I sent over dog treats. I didn't know why. I thought, well, if anything, she could just give them to someone, but, like, it wasn't, like, the plan. I just threw them in the cart. I was like, yeah, she'll need these. But she, like, normally didn't. Like, most people have their own dog treats, so it's good. So then my mom calls, and she's like, why'd you give me dog treats? And I don't know, we'll find out. And she's like, okay. 2 days later, she's dog sitting. One of her friends ended up having to go to the hospital for a couple of days. He had come back, he was fine, everything was good, but he needed someone to watch his dog, and my mom. And I was like, well, that's fucking weird. Like, I don't, and it's shit like that sometimes. Come and get your love now. So you're just trying to get used to it, bouncing your energy, Ace of Swords, 3 of Pentacles, and just like, okay. To me, the Ace of Swords is like you're getting the right messages, and you're trying to balance out how to read them, how to understand them, like asking for the ears to hear, the eyes to see, you know what I mean, that kind of deal. It's coming in. So if it comes in weird ways, maybe you're just catching on quicker. Like, my example was last night, but sometimes I'll have... before I started reading, I'll have a weird example happen, and then I'll go right into the reading. It's not even my energy. I'm picking up someone else. But maybe it's just to clarify the energy to me, so when I do read it for you, I can try to make some sort of sense, or if not, just entertain you for a fucking minute. Hey, hey. 9 of Swords, Page of Wands. It is an 8 of Swords. This energy to me, for some of you, it's really hard sometimes to relate intuitive messages, especially if you're like... Floopy flunky energies up in the air. We have full moon tomorrow, so things get wonky. With this Temperance, Hierophant, and I do have the moon. This is where everyone's doing their manifestations. And then people who aren't even, like, spiritual or into stuff, you know, statistically, a lot of crime and stuff goes up during full moons. Something about the energy gets people, like, funky. Some of you find yourself more open. I have the Postal Service, such great heights. There we go, talking about messages, and then the Postal Service comes on. Oh, that's great. So maybe it can get confusing sometimes. Some of you are just learning to recognize it, and also learning what to share, what not to share. That's a hard one sometimes. I think the overall point of this reading is just keeping your energies balanced during a time when there's floopy, flunky, floppy, fuckery-doo. Figure-doo. Energy up everywhere. I don't know what any of that means. Nine of Swords. You got past shit coming up. Five of Pentacles. People from the past wanting to do shit. People doing their manifestations at home. A lot of people are talking about past narcs starting to touch base within a few days of the full moon. Ones that people know practice spiritual things. They're try to touch base to trigger you, get you in low vibe energy so their shit works more. So just know it's a fucking trick out there to fuck with you and not to dwell on it too much. Page of Swords. Just what I think here in Knight of Swords, these people, some of them are watching you with the star. You've moved on clearly there, so this is like that Wile E. Coyote last-ditch attempt to try and get the Roadrunner, but they don't realize that it's not going to work. I have heavy backfire energy, like I always do. I have a lot of readings about backfire, but I have major backfires this weekend, and some of the readings I'm not even posting. People just need to find out for themselves what the fuck, because, like, enough is the overall vibe with that shit. And a lot of people are feeling that too collectively, which is this reading coming up. But it's still weird, funky energy. So a lot of you who know to keep your protections up, send it back, all that, keep it going. I tried my best to leave this all on your machine. Ghost people if you have to, whatever it is, you're good. You ain't crazy. Freedom. Free yourself from karmic bullshit. People are going to come in with their text messages pretending to be loyal, but you already know with this truth unveiled how they are. If you got the repeat offenders who, like, come in like, oh, I'm amazing, love bomb, and then do about everything fucked up and stupid, leave, come back, same thing, except, you know, it's worse every time. You already know. Guidance. Dealing with them leads to jail. Now, for one, there's two energies here. Spiritual jail. Or just feeling trapped, like there's nothing you can do, damned if you do, damned if you don't. Other energy is a lot of times these people actually do lead to physical jail because they're dumb fuck shit. I'm invincible! Really? Because that cop doesn't think so. And some people, they will get away with stuff for a while because they'll bribe people or do whatever, but it always catches up. So just don't get caught up with them. Ignore, keep your protections up, do what you gotta do. Vacation, just say you're out of town. And ignore the shady individuals, you're good. Is their floopy, flunky, floppy energy not yours? Don't get caught up in it. To see us waving from such great heights, come down now, they'll say. But everything looks perfect from far away. Come down now. Misery loves company vibes. Same old shit. And yeah, I'll get this reading 10 more times in a different way, but same old shit. Misery loves company, Wile E. Coyote's full moon, and Emperor, Nine of Pentacles, Four of Swords. Maybe narcs are feeling their empires crumbling, so they're doing the you up, you up, you up, trying to get their little harems together. Same energy with woman narcs. They get in that masculine energy where they're doing the most to the masculine. It's just like, yeah. And for some of you, you're not even dealing with the same people, but it's a similar energy and different people. That seems to be my deal. Most of it's cut out pretty quickly because I'm like, no, I'm good. So in some cases, it's just more spiritual tests for you. See how healed you are. If you recognize the shit and know what to do, you're good. Six of Swords, Six of Pentacles, Six of Wands, 666. No, that ain't a bad thing. Two of Swords. You just know what you want, what you don't want, what to cut out. If hard to handle, Otis Redding. Not the Black Rose. Da da da. Ba-da-dun-da. Baby, here I am. I'm the man on the scene. Two of Swords. You just know to cut out the love bombers, narcs. I can't give you what you... Oh, I can give you what you want, but I heard it. I can't. Yeah, ignore the narcs. Just the people talking out their butt. You know, I just watched Role Models the other day. Well, most of it. And what's her name? Don't bullshit a bullshitter. That's you. You have to be. You don't BS a BSer. I do lines of coke and Soho and whatever she would say. And then remember she had like the hot dog. She's like, "What does that remind you of?" You don't go that far unless you want to. But overall, energy, just don't BS a BSer. Don't BS a BSer. Hangman. Just take that bullshit somewhere else. King of Wands, 3 of Cups, 5 of Swords. What to say? Boys will come down by a dozen, but that ain't nothing but 10-cent lovin'. Queen of Wands. Sometimes the Wands here, Larry's, Leo, Aries, Sag. Queen of Wands. King of Wands come as karmics to me. Well, karmics are just out doing fucking shit. Manifesting 9 of Cups, 8 of Pentacles with the full moon, but it's all backfire energy. Gonna blow up in faces. For some it may work and they'll do whatever for a bit, but it ain't gonna go very far. Or they're just literally reaping the end of their bullshit. Don't worry about it, guys. I guess the overall energy is, if you feel fuck shit's going on, it is. If you feel the need to isolate from it, do. Boys may come down by the dozen, but that ain't nothing but drugstore loving. Hey, little thing, let me light your candles. Mama, I'm sure the handle now. People are just throwing out funky bunk junk magic that's just going to be straight up backfire. I would say just ignore. I don't see the energy of fire. Someone's about to start a fire. 10 of Cups and King of Swords just tells me let the police worry about it.